back to the channel, my friends. I hope you're having a great day. So this is going to be another soft sit, another sovereign citizen adjacent. He might actually be a sovereign citizen. He uses the same rhetoric, uses the pro-criminal terminology. I'll address that when it happens. He admits his crimes, but then thinks he's going to get a lawsuit. I don't fucking know what this guy's on. Enjoy the video.
Yeah, now it's a traffic stop. Go ahead and pull over there.
Good.
Thank you.
Go ahead, no problem.
How you doing today, sir?
Let's play the game. Body cams too. I got him.
Yeah, no, that's
no
fine.
problem. He wants to say it's a traffic stop. Let him play.
Well, no, it is. You're impeding traffic. That's.
There was nobody behind me when I asked. When I asked for who was the highest ranking officer, there was nobody behind me.
And he gave you correct information?
Yeah, we're all officers.
Yeah, we are.
I understand you're all officers.
So what's your question?
Okay, who's driving that truck?
Which truck? The emergency vehicle pulled over on the side of the road over there?
Yes.
Us.
Us. Who is us? You, him,
Yes, correct.
us.
Yes.
3 people?
Yes.
All 3 of you driving.
So what's your question?
People are driving that vehicle?
What is your question?
I asked who's driving that vehicle. That's what I asked.
So we have provided you that information.
You said us.
Correct.
You know what? I'll deal with the lieutenant. No problem.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you have your driver's license on you?
For what? What reason?
For obstructing traffic.
Obstructing traffic?
Yes.
Okay. Get your lieutenant out.
All right. So do you have your driver's license?
I'll go to jail. Get your lieutenant out.
Why?
Get your lieutenant out. That's why. I don't like to play games, but when I get played,
what's the game?
I asked this question: who's driving that vehicle?
And I told you, us.
Us. Us is not. 2 people can't drive. 2 people can't drive.
Okay, so that's I don't know on what planet you think that's a thing, but is there something else we can? Is there a reason you're asking that? Is there something we can help you with? Do you have a question about fish? Do you have a question about regulatory issues? What is it we can help
I was
you with?
asking who was driving the vehicle.
And we have provided you that information. So
Are you done with this traffic stop yet?
No, you've not provided your ID.
Good, no problem.
Okay, so I need your driver's license.
Lieutenant,
Okay, so I'm going to tell you one more time, okay?
lock me up.
Why? No, we don't want to do extra
You want me to put
paperwork.
them on for you? I'll put them on for you.
Okay.
That's how cool I am with them.
What's your first name?
I asked you a question.
Okay.
I got the attitude.
Okay.
And now I have the problem. Right?
Okay,
No problem.
so let's start this over, okay? The reason for the stop is you're obstructing the flow of traffic because we're in the middle of an investigation. You're calling us over. We're trying to answer your questions.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Who is driving? Who's in charge
Okay,
here?
so listen,
That's what I asked.
listen,
And then
listen,
I got the attitude.
Listen, I'm going to ask you one last time for your driver's license, or I'm going to forcefully remove you from the vehicle. Okay. Go ahead.
Lock me up. Go ahead.
Stop tensing up, man.
I'm
Just
trying to make
relax.
it.
Take a deep
there.
breath.
My hands are there.
Cool. Take a deep breath.
Okay, I'm not going to play this game. Let go of your hands.
I'm trying to make it seem
Take
my
a deep
handcuffs on them.
breath. Just take a deep breath.
Pull your hands back.
My hands were there the whole time for the handcuffs on
Just
them.
take a deep breath. There's no reason to be like this.
There's no reason to be handcuffs be put on either. But
Yep.
you want to play the game?
I
Play the
agree.
game.
You should have just provided
Yeah.
your driver's license.
Let's go over here. Have a seat.
Where are you pushing me?
We're
to?
going right over here.
This is a crosswalk. I'm
Yes.
trying to go to the crosswalk.
We're going to come right.
Okay, guys, before we get too far into this, I found this on Donnie Rapture's channel. I'll leave his link in the description. He has a bunch of great videos. I believe a lot of them are from Florida. Shocker, Florida Man channel. This guy, to give you some backstory, I believe it's Fish and Wildlife. They were dealing, like one officer was dealing with like 50 plus people. You'll find out way at the end, but I believe context in this part of the video kind of matters. The supervisor came up. They were dealing with all of these people. This guy parked in the middle of the road trying to get his questions answered while parked in the middle of the road with a bunch of people behind him. Then they're like, bro, you gotta go. Keep it moving. He did a U-turn and came back and did the same thing. So at this point, they're like, yeah, traffic stop, impeding traffic. There you go. If you notice his little contraption on the oh shit handle, it seems like this is where he's probably a sovereign citizen, probably a wannabe frauditor. Either way, he failed the Jose de Castro School of Law. The officers don't have to give you a supervisor, but you do have to give over your license at a traffic stop. So this guy's just talking out of his ass, and then the creepy handcuff thing. Oh, I got handcuffs. I'm that cool. I got handcuffs from a job that I worked at a police department. This guy, I don't mean to kink shame or slander this man, but he's giving me creep vibes.
Okay, fine. I'm not pulling away from you. I'm trying to get out of the way.
That's fine. Take a deep breath.
So this guy's playing his manhandling me here. He wants
Nobody
to
is
show.
manhandling.
Nobody's doing
Okay, whatever.
anything.
You want me to sit on the bumper?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, what do you want me to do?
Say
Jump
you're
up and
ready.
down?
No, stop. Just take a
Just,
deep breath.
bro, you need to relax, man.
I don't need to do anything.
Okay, that's fine.
So real quick,
excuse me, that's a wallet. You don't go in my pocket.
All right.
You do not go in my. Excuse me, you're not going in my pocket. It's called illegal search. Under arrest for illegal search. Go for it. Go for it. Take it out of my pocket. Go ahead. Go for it.
It's not a reason to be like this, man.
Go for it. Take the wallet out. Go for it.
This is like the stupidest thing ever, man.
You're absolutely right. And it's going to make me a hell of a lot of money. Thank you.
You want to take this off?
Yeah.
No, it's nothing in there. It's a phone case. You can't get it off unless you take my belt off.
Okay. Can we use your cage?
It's got stuff in it. Give me a second.
So again, I'm going to ask, who's the highest ranking officer? You the one, sir?
Go ahead.
Hands off.
I am, yes. Why?
That's why I asked for who was the highest ranking officer before all this crap started.
Okay. I'm in the middle of an investigation.
That's
I don't have time to talk to you right now.
You could have said, I am, and I could have pulled over and parked.
I've got radio in my ear.
And I could have pulled over and parked. I was asking you a question.
Okay. And you were also stopped impeding traffic in the middle of the road.
When I stopped, there was nobody behind me.
Just grab a seat. You had a whole,
grab a seat.
line.
I'm a dog. I don't sit.
Just grab a seat. I'm giving you a lawful order. You want to sit there? That's fine.
Excuse me. Just because you fart, it doesn't make it lawful. It comes out of your mouth.
We'll agree to disagree.
That's right. We'll agree to disagree.
Can you bring it down?
Can you loosen these handcuffs up?
7245. We're going to need 7240 if he's...
You are super agitated. I don't want to do anything right now.
I promise you, I will treat you with respect.
You haven't yet.
Well, I haven't got treated with respect. I asked a simple question.
I'm involved now.
I asked a simple question.
Okay.
Who was the person? And instead, I get a different answer.
And you know that now.
Okay. And then when I asked who was driving that vehicle, I told we are. Us.
Yes, we are all officers, okay?
But you can't be driving that vehicle and this one at the same time.
Okay, I don't understand what that has to do with anything right now.
That was the question I asked, who was driving that vehicle.
They were responding to a call.
Okay, and that's what I was asking. I was asking for the highest person here. But instead, we wanted to play the game. I got no problem with being in handcuffs. I asked you to please loosen the handcuffs a little. You can't get a finger in here.
Stand up and turn around for me.
Certainly, sir.
Chest up against the truck.
No problem, sir.
G1039-7240.
If you keep your hands back...
Excuse me. I'll talk to you, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Just stay calm for me, all right?
I'll be perfectly calm. What's your name, sir, please?
My name is...
I'll be glad to speak with you, and you only, please. Thank you.
All right. Is that better? They're not meant to be comfortable, unfortunately.
I know, sir. I got to sit in my freaking truck.
Okay. All right. Turn around. Lean up against the truck for me.
No problem.
So...
I'm going to strike your truck, sorry. Damn it.
When you rolled up, that was super strange, okay? Right? They were trying to give you an answer, and then you're impeding traffic on a 2-lane road. Nobody could get around you. Okay? They were trying to get you moved on, and you weren't. That's how we ended up here. Okay? I don't know what happened over there, but that's where we're at. Okay?
When I pulled up to this truck here, when I focused up, there was not a car behind me.
Doesn't matter.
And I asked a question to a law enforcement officer.
I get that.
And I asked, and that's all I was waiting for.
You can't stop in a lane of travel. Right?
Just in a crosswalk, there was people walking across. I hope you had body cam showing it wasn't.
You know I was in my truck, so you know I wasn't facing that way. Okay?
And then your gentleman here wants to play the game and we want to go. Listen, my whole family's law enforcement.
Okay, so then why are you treating us that way? Okay? I get something happened prior to.
No, honestly, what happened? I don't like law enforcement anymore. Absolutely right.
Well,
absolutely.
I can
I've never
understand
hurt a law enforcement officer, but I don't like yous anymore. I don't like any of them.
So I'm on a call, right?
And I understand.
With a commercial vessel, right?
Okay.
And they don't hear me on the radio.
Okay.
Does that sound like a expedited response?
Okay, so this seems like your run-of-the-mill, I'm gonna have my nose in everyone's business, even though that business is not my own, neighborhood Karen. He stopped while the officer, the supervisor, was talking to a vessel. Not a sovereign citizen, toaster on wheels, aka my private property. No, an actual ship. And he thought, I'm gonna sit here and stop traffic until this supervisor talks to me. Which isn't ever gonna fucking happen. And nobody cares if your family's law enforcement. That doesn't get you special treatment. And I don't know who has less teeth, this guy or broken system, broken trust.
They know I'm dealing with 40, up to 40 people.
So when I turned around and drove past and went down and did a legal U-turn down there, came back up, made sure there was nobody behind me, and I saw you guys all stand there. Who is driving that vehicle? Who's in charge?
That's not what you asked when you got
I asked for who's the highest ranking officer.
Yes, sir.
Right, because that's the one I want to talk to. And if you would have said, I'm on the radio, pull over, that's what I would have done. And I had the conversation.
I was in the middle of everything.
Okay. And they could, I'm going to thrust my legs. I'm not going to try to hurt you. And they could have done the same thing. Instead, we want to escalate it to, let's see who's got the most force here. There's no problem. It's
you,
no
you
problem.
rolled up in a super sovereign manner that did not make any one of us
The
comfortable.
only one that's sovereign here is you guys. Sorry.
All right, guys, you know what time it is, so we're just going to jump into this. I'll stop it periodically when he makes really dumb comments. The only one sovereign here is you. This is a sovereign citizen talking point. This is why I'm starting to believe he's actually a sovereign citizen, but yeah, let's just jump into this. I'll read it and then ask you a question. So, the sovereign citizen movement, also Sovcit movement or Sovcits, is a loose group of anti-government activists, vexatious litigants, tax protesters, financial scammers, and conspiracy theorists found mainly in English-speaking common law countries, the United States, Canada, Australia, the United Kingdom, and New Zealand. Sovereign citizens have their own pseudo-legal belief system based on misinterpretations of common law and claim not to be subject of any government statutes unless they consent to them. The movement appeared in the United States in the early 1970s and has since expanded to other countries. The similar Freemen on the Land movement emerged during the 2000s in Canada before spreading to other Commonwealth countries. The FBI has called sovereign citizens anti-government extremists who believe that even though they physically reside in the country, they are separate or sovereign from the United States. It goes on, but now it's time for the question. Does that sound like a police officer? No, it doesn't. So the fact that they're intentionally misusing a word or movement name to try to throw that on police officers, like, stop projecting, my man. Just own up that you're a dipshit.
All right, there is a
Write me up whatever
supervisor.
ticket you want to do. Lock me up. Whatever you want to do, go ahead and do it.
That's not me. I'm trying to figure out if I can calm you down and keep things cool. Okay?
I'm cool, collect. Believe it or not, I can either be the nicest man in the world to you
Can you
guys,
do that
or
for
I
me?
can be the biggest asshole in the world. That's me.
Well,
it depends on how I'm treated. When I asked a simple question, who was the highest, and all they had to do was turn around and point to you, I would say, okay, I'm going to pull over there, and I need to talk to him when he gets a chance.
Okay.
That's what it would have been. Instead, I get to run around and answer, we are.
Okay, but those are answers. They are officers, same as me.
I asked who the highest ranking officer was. Who was in charge?
They're officers. Okay, we are officers. We have a supervisor above us.
I know.
Okay, I don't tell these guys what to
I can go
do.
into my phone and probably get the lieutenant's name.
I believe he's on his way.
No,
So,
like I said, I probably can go on my phone and pull up his name.
okay.
Okay? Because there's already one complaint against a Fish and Wildlife officer that came knocking on my door, a field training officer, trying to train a young lady that had no clue on how to be a field training officer.
Okay.
So, but when I had a car cut me off with lights on and then turn their lights off, okay, call could have got canceled, and that's what I was
They
going
were
to ask.
expediting the response, is what I would assume.
And that's why I was going to ask you, did he have a call? Was he on a call? Or he just... Well, actually, when I saw a park there, I said, oh, great, he's going to go have lunch, and he's running those traffic lights to go to lunch.
That would be a reason for a complaint, I promise you that.
That's right. Yeah, and that's why I drove by and looked and said, it doesn't look like it. Maybe it's something else. Let me just see who's the highest ranking officer.
So would pulling over on the side of the road and walking up to address us, would that have been a little better?
There was no other parking spots except that one over there.
I get that.
And
But
the crosswalk was there, and there was somebody walking across. So I said what I said to who's the highest ranking officer, who's in charge. And instead, I got what I got. No problem.
Okay. Well, let's see if we can get that figured out, all right?
Okay, you want to take these off? Because I'm not going to hurt you.
I'm not the one that put you in it. I don't know what's
If
going on.
you're the highest ranking officer, you are the one in charge here.
So I'm not going to rehash the beginning of this video. But this is where he starts going off the rails talking dumb shit. How many times have we seen sovereign citizens, frauditors, and mores do exactly this? Oh, I'm going to get the supervisor here and then tell him my sob story. That has no basis in reality. You're saying one thing happened, but the officers and body cams are saying something completely different happened. So which is it? Do you want the supervisor? You're the highest ranking person here. You can take me out of these cuffs. The supervisor wasn't there to see anything that you did. So how is he just going to say, oh yeah, I'll take this random guy who's a criminal simp, I'll take his word over the officers and body cams. That's not how that works. And it's, like I said, it's only going to go downhill from here. This guy's a fucking idiot.
Thank you.
So-
I'm going to ask you personally. Did you take
And
these handcuffs
I
off?
don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened over there because I'm in my truck dealing with
nothing
something.
happened over there. Body cam and the car cam will show what happened there.
Okay.
I mean, and also
But I wasn't there, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so
and
I don't
I
know
was
what's...
stopping to talk to find if he was on it. If this was the gentleman driving, if it was, I'm not sure. If he was the gentleman driving and he was on a call, and a radio call, and he used his lights to blow through a traffic light, good for him, great. I expect him to come help you.
Okay.
But then all of a sudden he gets off, and gets past the intersection, turns the lights off, and then he was still in an expedited to get to you. But again, he might have heard you on the radio after that. And then he went back down to the 20 miles an hour coming down this road, just like I did. I mean, he was 7 cars in front of me at that point, you know.
So hi, I'm Officer. Okay. I like the point we're at right now. All right. So I'm more
Are you
than
the one that put these handcuffs on?
no.
Okay.
But I'm more than happy to have this conversation with you because I was in the vehicle, I wasn't driving. But I'm more than happy to explain it to you. Okay. So here's how these conversations can go in the future. All right. So the reason the officer who's driving the vehicle did that, all right, it's in our general orders. He is allowed to circumvent traffic congestion to expedite a response to the call. Okay.
Correct.
That's what he did.
Correct.
All right. As soon as he got through that traffic congestion, he turned off the lights. Okay. Because he no longer had to have them on because he'd gotten through the traffic congestion. All right. He came over here. All right. When we're over here having a conversation with this officer, trying to work through the other stop that we're on, right? And then we have somebody who comes up on us yelling, right? I understand that's probably not your intention, but you have to look at it from our point of view, right?
There's traffic, there's people.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it all loud.
And I understand why you did that, right? So in future, if you want to walk up on the sidewalk and say, hey, officer, I've got a question for you later, when you have a moment, when you're not busy, that's one thing, right? But he had a reason, he had a lawful reason to pull you over because you're impeding the flow of traffic, right? That's a lawful traffic stop, all right? When somebody's on a lawful traffic stop, you're required by Florida state statute to produce your driver's license, okay? When you fail to do that, you are committing a crime.
If you want to consider that a lawful stop because I pissed you off by
No.
asking questions.
Do I seem
that's
angry?
The only reason.
I'm not angry.
See, that's the reason I'm in handcuffs right now. We all know it.
No, it's because you didn't produce a driver's license. That's why the officer put you in
You
handcuffs.
told me to pull over there.
Yeah, correct.
Go for it.
We don't want... Listen, we're trying to... We came here for this stop.
Okay. Well, then
We're not here for
take
this.
these off,
You
and we can have a
again,
conversation.
I'm not the officer who put you in handcuffs.
And again,
Okay?
excuse me. Then we're done the conversation. now.
Okay.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time.
All right. I'm going back to my original stop.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
Is he moving this truck or Mike?
No, he's not moving the truck. He's just going back to work on the original
Okay,
call.
that's fine. Yeah, just sit on the truck. I want them to pull out
You're
one
fine.
with me.
No, hey, that's reasonable. 10:15?
Yeah.
All right. Do you have somebody who can pick up your vehicle?
1070.
1070?
Yeah.
All right. 7336 Tampa.
Tell it, impound it, do whatever you're going to do with it. Add the lawsuit.
All right, guys. So I believe our toothless friend here, when he said, oh, I'll have a lawsuit, do whatever with my car. I don't think he has a lawsuit. I feel like his lawsuit would fall under the vexatious litigation portion of the sovereign citizen movement definition. Because you didn't ID. Like, it's the simplest thing. You were pulled over. You were impeding traffic twice. You were pulled over. And they arrested you because you didn't ID. That's why you're in handcuffs. Full stop. That's why you're in handcuffs. Because you're an idiot.
So again, since I'm the one who's going to be arresting you, okay?
You have a 1070 51.
The reason I went through that traffic, which I already explained, but I'm just going to go ahead and explain it to you again, is I had a lawful reason to come down here, right? I have one officer with 50 people by themselves. That is extremely reasonable for me to come down and activate my lights to go through one intersection
Sir,
to come here.
You don't need a cop explain anything to me.
No, I'm not cop explaining. I'm man-to-man explaining.
I don't need to hear it.
Okay.
You're arresting me, that's all I need to
No, you're good. So no, I'm just going to keep talking. If you don't want to listen, that's totally fine. Okay. You were impeding the flow of traffic. There was multiple vehicles behind you. That's the reason we initiated a traffic stop. We were trying to just figure out what was going on. You didn't want to talk to us. Totally fine. We initiated a traffic stop. I had a lawful reason to detain you and identify you, right? The reason being was you were impeding the flow of traffic. At that point, you refused to identify yourself. Okay, I asked you multiple times for your identification, refused. At that point, we removed you from the vehicle and placed you under arrest. So you are getting charged with the traffic violation as well as not identifying yourself, okay? So I need you to stand up and turn around for me. Face that truck, okay?
I already told you, you can't take it off unless you take the belt
Okay.
off.
You what?
In case you can't get that off unless you take the belt off.
Do you have to talk down to me?
I talk how I'm getting given.
Okay. No, we've been nothing but nice. We asked you what's going on. How can we help you? We're all officers.
No. I asked for a certain
Okay.
person.
We're all officers here. Okay. What was going on back there? Why did you go through that light? The reason being, I have one officer with 50 people. Okay. What happens if one person attacks him, right? And he's alone with 50 people, right? Is that fair enough?
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Would you want to be in a fight with 50 people?
I've been there.
Okay, listen, man. You understand what I'm saying? Aren't law enforcement, military, firefighters, paramedics are all supposed to have each other's back, right? When my partner says that he's on
I don't know.
stop,
I'm in handcuffs right now.
All right, so I believe it was, again, Donnie Rapture, great channel. He said that this guy was brought to jail on resisting without violence and other traffic stuff. I'm assuming failure to ID is one of those. Shocker. Yeah, that's the video. This guy's an idiot. He said something about cop-splaining somewhere in there. Cop-splaining isn't a real term. It's a term that criminals and criminal simps use when they're too dumb to understand the law. Yeah. It is what it is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and remember, Mitchell Crooks is a bitch.